How's it going, everyone? I am here to go over some of the key information and general notes on the brand new free-to-play title that is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC in Arknights Endfield. It will also be available on mobile platforms, and I will say that right now the listing on the PlayStation Store is for a $9.99 purchase. That is if you want to buy the game right now, and I believe that will also let you preload the game. The same thing happened with Where Winds Meet, at least on PlayStation, where they had a $9.99 listing and you had to buy that to preload the game. But yeah, there's a $9.99 listing. However, when the game officially releases on January the 22nd, it will be free to play for everyone. There will obviously be in-game microtransactions. You know, everybody's gotta eat here. You know, just get games for free, alright there, buddy? Relax there. But the listing is for $9.99. I'll highlight everything you get with the $9.99 purchase if you do want to pick that up. And again, I believe the preload will be tied to that, but don't quote me on that. We'll have more news on that when the preload does actually go live. On PC, the preload should be just available for everyone. I'm saying the preload on consoles. But like I said, Arknights Endfield is a game that's picking up quite a lot of attention. They just dropped an absolutely killer trailer with We Are Empire by the band Starset. Starset is one of the goated rock bands. Absolutely love that they were picked to do a song for the trailer, or, you know, one of their songs was used for the trailer. Arknights Endfield is the latest entry set in the popular Arknights universe and has already garnered more than 35 million pre-registrations worldwide. And to celebrate that, all community rewards and special gifts revealed during the live stream will be available for players to claim starting on launch day, so you'll have some stuff to get for free on launch day as well if you do log in right away. Arknights Endfield introduces a new frontier storyline and a world built around exploration, strategic real-time combat, and base building. The base building aspect is one of the big elements of the game, and I feel like does give it a little bit of an extra layer and nuance opposed to a lot of the other gacha titles. Players command squads of up to 4 operators, combining skills, elemental synergies, and coordinated tactics across fast-paced encounters. How you build your team is going to be a big aspect of this game as well. Pretty standard stuff there. The story follows the Administrator, a legendary guardian awakened from a 10-year hibernation to lead Enfield Industries from their orbital headquarters, the OMV Zhang. The game is set in Talos 2, and within, players harness the automated industrial complex, a system used to architect integrated production networks and power grids across the wilderness. As the admin, players must manage these facilities while defending the civilization banned from organized raider clans and investigate the origins of their self-commissioned Zeroth Directive. Arknights Endfield leverages the latest graphical technologies, including native 120 frames per second support, realistic snow stepping, environmental puddle reflections, and more. Players can also toggle NVIDIA DLSS, super resolution, and frame generation independently, and you do have plug-and-play support for both PlayStation and Xbox controllers on PC. It looks like visuals and performance is something they really put a lot of emphasis on, and the game does support up to 120 frames per second, so that is fantastic as well. And if this is going to be your first gacha game, do keep in mind that this game is going to offer a lot of guides within the game just to hold your hand on early team building and some of the base building activities. The tutorial is going to guide you into the early portion of the game, and you will be able to figure it out, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. You'll end up figuring out the game if you take your time and go through the tutorial. The game is set in Talos 2, and it'll have you venture into the towering ranges and winding rivers of the world, eliminate the Blight and neutralize the Anchor threats, lead Enfield Industries in expanding across the planet as you build and develop each region along the way. The game does center around team combat. Lead your team into battle, working in sync and unleashing combo skills to overcome all kinds of enemies. Stand together to protect the homeland of Talos 2. There will be a plethora of characters in Arknights Endfield, and more characters will be added as the game is released, but do keep in mind this is a gacha title and characters will be behind a gacha system for you to acquire more and more. But a lot of the gameplay with each of individual characters and their abilities looks incredibly stylish, and you'll want to play with a few of them and figure out which one you want to take into battle. As I mentioned, the AIC factory is a big aspect of this game, and you'll use various Enfield facilities to build automated production lines, follow blueprints, or build freely to produce everything from gear and explosives to food and medicine to support the ongoing expansion. And you'll manage Enfield Industries, keep Enfield Industries headquarters running smoothly, construct and upgrade various cabins, interact with operators to build trust, showcase your achievements in the reception room, and host guests or visit others. The powerful automated industry complex of Enfield Industries enables the efficient automated production of various gear, explosives, batteries, tactical items, and other materials. And then you have Protocol Core. The Protocol Core is one of Enfield's core technological advancements. Using teleprotocol, the POC can print a variety of facilities and extend AIC technologies to every corner of Talos 2, streamlining the production quite a bit. Logistics systems. Enfield Industries employs powerful logistics units like transport belts, splitters, and depot bus. These are essential for quickly setting up automated production lines as well. You've got a power system. Enfield Industries uses relay towers and electric pylons to distribute electricity from POC to connected facilities. This keeps power flowing and facilities operating for automated production. Then you've got the Wuling AIC plan. The AIC factory at Wuling introduces new facilities for collecting and processing various fluids, enabling the mass production of a remarkable material known as Zyronite. Once played, Zyronite relays and Zyronite pylons developed by the Hongshan Academy of Sciences will automatically connect to the existing power grid and supply electricity to nearby facilities. We do have a variety of the characters already revealed. At the helm of the story will be the administrator of Enfield Industries. In the recorded history of Talos 2, the administrator stands as a key guardian who protected civilization on this planet and saved humanity from multiple catastrophic disasters. The Endman's heroic deeds have given rise to many stories and tales and even rumors. However, the Endman's identity remains elusive, and only a handful of people have seen the legend in person. Other factions within the civilization band are well aware that Enfield has a very special trump card in their hand, but that is all they know. The administrator's mysterious mystery over Originium and the protocol network, along with the Endman's need for periodic long-term hibernation, is one of the Enfield's most important secrets. You can play as a male administrator or a female administrator. You have other characters as well. Perlica is the supervisor of Enfield Industries and the official spokesperson of the company. She is primarily responsible for overseeing and advancing the development and application of the Protocol Originium technology, which also is managing the operations of Dezhang. You've got Chen Qianyu. Chen Qianyu is an operator at Enfield Industries and a core member of the Crisis Team. From a young age, she trained in martial arts under the guidance of her mother, and at Tanjian Hall, her dedication earned her outstanding combat capabilities and a mental fortitude rarely seen among her peers. Though she has never laid eyes on the legendary Qi Shao, she proudly upholds her self-developed swordmancy and wields it in name. Next up, we have Lavatane. Lavatane is a Rhodes Island operator who joined Enfield at the administrator's direct recommendation under the framework agreement between the two companies. She serves as an operator directly under the administrator's command. Before joining Enfield Industries, Lavatane roamed the world alone, pursuing a goal she could call her own. Because of that journey and her formidable skill in solo combat, people often mistake her for someone you can't talk to. In truth, the opposite is closer to reality. It's only that her earnest, forthright nature sometimes comes across too strongly, giving rise to misunderstanding. At times, though, she speaks in ways that confound others, often circling back to the subject of memory as if she were purposefully trying to separate herself from who she truly is. She often wields flames, yet craves ice cream just as much. To her, maybe that contradiction feels perfectly natural. Try getting closer to me if you're still feeling cold. Then we have Yvonne. Yvonne is an operator in the Specialist Tech Division of Enfield Industries, currently responsible for the research on Aether, Blight, and related devices. At first glance, Yvonne looks like your typical rebellious fashionista, painting her horns, tail, and nails in eye-popping colors. She'll skip out on academic conferences just to snag the latest fashion magazines and pop albums. Drawn to all things new and unconventional, Yvonne has a knack for staying one step ahead of the trends, always marching to the beat of her own drum. But no one can deny that she is a true genius. Even back in her school days, she was racking up accolades in scientific research that others could only dream of. Everyone expected her to join a top-tier research institute and lead to a charge in her field. Instead, Yvonne turned her back on it all and chose to join Enfield. The reason she never explained. Maybe you can ask her yourself. Then you have Gilberta, a Rhode Island operator assigned to Enfield Industries under the framework agreement between the two companies. She served as a messenger in the Specialist Tech Division, skilled in an exceptionally rare form of Iridium arts. She is capable of controlling gravity around her. At Enfield, Gilberta is in charge of mail and intel delivery across multiple bases and outposts. Her duties often require her to travel along the boundaries between the civilization band and the frontier, but she seems to really enjoy the job. Recently, she even started asking for more challenging missions in high-rank areas to hone her skills. Then we have Ardelia, a Rhode Island operator assigned to Enfield Industries, where she serves as an expert geologist under the framework agreement between the two companies. Her early work centered on volcanoes, but today her research extends into the aether side and geological disasters. We have Ember. Ember serves in the Order of Steel Oath, a military force stationed year-round in the rugged northern regions to recruit successors for fallen comrades. She returned to the civilization band and accepted an invitation to work with Enfield Industries. We have Last Right. Before the Sarkas of the Floating City found her, Last Right was a kind-hearted girl adopted by a gravekeeper couple. Shaped by their teaching, she refused to disturb the dead, resisting her instinct to feed, but that restraint left her reeling with hunger, and her insecurity made her shrink away from others. Then we have Lifeng. Lifeng, born in the Wuling City and now interns at Specialist Tech Division at Enfield Industries. Back in Wuling, Lifeng's mind and personalities made him popular with his peers and elders. Years of guidance from Dapan have honed his spear fighting skills, arming him for his pursuit of justice. We've got Alesh, introduced by a liaison from the UWST Security Bureau. Alesh joined Enfield Industries to take on communications and cover duties in the frontier. When he's not on job, he doubles down as the instructor for Enfield's angling class as well. Then you've got Arklight. Arklight is a song seeker who joined Enfield Industries at the recommendation of Aldertone Orisha. She now serves as a field operator and a technical consultant for machinery and vehicles. Then you've got Dapan, who is going to be a favorite of mine. He hails from the prestigious Hongshan Academy of Sciences, but after leaving, he took up all kinds of dispersed key logistical support roles, from chef and electrician to chauffeur and street vendor. His latest move, joining the Specialist Tech Division of Enfield Industries as an independent. There's going to be a ton more characters beyond that, but those are just some of the characters that are going to be a part of Arknights Endfield. Obviously, with a gacha game like this, characters are going to be at the heart of the gameplay, and that's going to be no different here. We do have some lore terms to go over as well that they have on their page. We have the Dejang. OMV Dejang is a spacecraft in the artificial geostationary orbit above Talos 2. It is the current headquarters of Enfield Industries, powered by a massive core of protocol iridium. It supports various subsystems, including the teleprotocol and automated industry complex. You've got Anchor. Those are mysterious constructs that trigger the formation of Agaloy. The origins remain unknown, and they are randomly scattered across Talos 2. Once they land, they begin drawing in nearby natural materials to continually create Agaloy. Then we have AIC. This is the Automated Industry Complex. It's one of the key technologies of the Enfield Industries. It represents the successful miniaturization and modularization of industrial production machinery. A small team of professionals armed with the AIC technology can quickly deploy a fully functional automated production line as well. Then you've got the Tianxi Pillar. Tianxi Pillars are column-shaped Zyronite devices developed to counter the Blight Tide, and they stand as one of the major scientific achievements of Hongshan Academy of Sciences. By combining the technology with the studies, HAS Tianxi invented the Tianxi Pillar to combat the Blight Tide. The device disperses Zyronite particles and activates them as needed to weaken the effects of the Blight. Then we have the Agilos, refers to any hostile and animated entity comprising natural matter and a halo structure, and is created by an anchor via catalytic construction. Throughout the history of humanity's expansion across Talos 2, they have always been our primary threat. The war was named after the enemy fought by humanity. And then we do have Landbreakers. Landbreakers usually refer to groups of armed raiders in the fringes of society who make a living by robbery or other forms of criminal violence. When the Landbreakers' dreams of conquest were shattered, the gang split into several offshoots. Each now goes by a different name, but people still use Landbreakers as a catch-all term for any armed group that stands against the civilization order. Those are some of the key terms for the lore, but on top of that, as far as gameplay and the action-oriented gameplay goes, they have been making improvements on that based on some of the recent footage that we've been seeing. Back in September, we got 15 minutes of gameplay that gave us insight into some of the action-oriented combat, but beyond that, recently, they've had live streams that showcase some of the better models that they've added, camera feature updates, better visuals, the performance updates as well, so it looks like this has developed into a more refined action-oriented gameplay as a live service title. Obviously, it's going to make progress beyond release as well. Finally, I do want to note that currently you can pay the $9.99 on the PlayStation Store. Now with that, that is just gonna give you some in-game items, and that's it. For $9.99, you'll get the basic HH Permit X5, T-Credits X 50,000, Intermediate Combat Record 10, Arms Inspector 10, and Fortifying Infusion 10. And on top of that, if you do pre-order the pack, because it will be available as a standalone purchase beyond release, Intermediate Combat Record ×5 and Arms Inspector ×5. Arknights Endfield will be totally free to play when it does release on January 22nd. No purchases required to play the game. They're making that abundantly clear. However, the preload might be tied to this purchase. That's how it was in Where Winds Meet. And the preload will be kicking off on January 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, ahead of the January 22nd release. So if you want to jump on that, that'll be the time where you can get a head start on that and preload the game, and you'll be good to go on January 22nd. But that is going to do it for me. Remember, again, the game will be totally free to play. A lot of information to go over, and honestly, this is the tip of the iceberg. I didn't even go over all of the operators. There are just so many, and that's going to be a key integral part of the game, and more will be rolling out over time. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.